Hey guys! Welcome to another video where I turn JoJo's Bizarre Adventure characters into Wings of Fire dragons! This week, we've got Joseph Joestar and we're turning him into a sea wing! I keep putting exclamation marks in my script, and I don't know why. Maybe just happy or something. Perhaps it's just like kind of mood it's got me in, you know? Okay. So, I think I mentioned it in one of my previous speed paints, but I choose the dragon tribe I think each character matches best with based on this tried and fairly true list of Wings of Fire stereotypes I've developed. Patent pending. I based the traits just off of common ones I think a lot of side characters and even some main characters have from their tribes. I know I said I'd talk more about the actual drawing process, but let me just do this real quick, okay? You know? So for Jonathan and Joseph, I made them both sea wings, and the little description I have for sea wings is as follows. There are two main types. Kind of boring blobs that sit in the corner doing their own shtick. Interesting once you get to know them. Blends into the background a bit. Or, you wanna go? Let's go, bro! Let's fight! Filled with spunk and sparks. Reading this out loud, it really feels like I just looked at Tsunami and then I looked at Turtle and I said, that's it, these are the only two sea wings that exist. Maybe a bit flawed, so I don't know. Personally, I think Joseph falls into the latter camp of let's go, bro, with his wackier, trickster-based antics. I put Jonathan into this camp as well because A, he's Joseph's grandfather, and B, he's blue. He's pretty blue, guys. Admittedly, tribe selection was based a smidge on the anime color palettes, but I've mostly been trying to follow the Joestar genealogy tree. It's not too complicated, it's just a little weird. It hasn't caused major issues so far, seeing as the Jotaro to Jolene pipeline was fairly easy, and most of the other Joestars are grandchildren, so theoretically, and this is just me coping, the grandparents' genetics could have just buffed out. And yeah, that's a sneak peek of the kind of schematics I make before coming to the table with these drawings. I also have, like, sketches of, I think I've got sketch headshots of everybody except for Johnny. We don't have Johnny yet. And still not 100% sure how to work out Josuke's design. Josuke's a weird one. But we'll get there, we'll get there. Speaking of those drawings, are we liking them? It's okay if you don't, and I would love to take some constructive criticism. Whether I can take it well is a different question, but you know what they say, potato, French toast with jam. You'll see me playing around with the colors a ton here later, because I thought Joseph was, like, too green. Like, horribly too green. I don't draw a lot of green sea wings. I usually, because I think of the sea, I think of blue. At best, I'll give someone like a turquoise or teal sea wing, but never one that's like straight up this marsh type of swampy green that Joseph kind of has. Leaf wing kind of green. So I think that was just throwing me off a bit, you know. It just felt like the wrong shade. I shifted it around from his part 2 color scheme, so it's pretty based in what I was going for anyway, but it like really bugged me even after I finished it. So if there's like a slight color change from like the last part of the video to when I showed the actual finished piece, don't worry about that. It was just me twiddle around in the settings. I think I've done that a couple minor tweaks in between video and finished piece for Jonathan as well. Not many minor tweaks, probably just like moving the logo around or something. Not something as big as color. Anyway, listen to some nice JoJo's music. I'm gonna pop that in right about now. Ahem. Okay, back to design stuff, I suppose. Yay! I kept the yellow spine of Flameback and put him into a pose that was supposed to be reminiscent of, you know, his classic "your next line is" stance, but it actually looks closer to Jotaro's pointing pose. I still haven't actually watched part 2, and the picture I based the pose off of was from the video game, so maybe it's not completely accurate, whatever. What am I even talking about? Either way, I forgot to put, like, his other hand up, because he has both hands up when he actually does this pose. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it reminds me of how, Josuke's pose is, where he's got both hands flaring his little face. Love Josuke pose. Oh, well, Joseph low-key has, like, foresight anyway. Maybe he foresaw the pose of his grandson and decided to copy it. Or maybe he's pointing at you, the viewer, and he's gonna predict your next line. Your next line is, I should subscribe to Awesome Cow Does Stuff and Random Ooh. Oh, and this time I actually added webbing in between his claws. Most of his claws are closed, but I added a little dot in his pointing foot. Paw? Question mark? I don't know. The word hand seems very wrong in this case, but my thesaurus brain is pushing me to use anything except the word claw, because I've used it 2 whole times. Gasp! The order! Like I said, a lot of exclamation marks in the script. I don't know. Like I did with Flameback, I wrote his name as best I could in his aquatic scales. I usually do that for, like, all the ceilings I do, honestly. It's a cool thing, because, like, it's a language, so why don't I just draw letters that sort of look like letters? And plus, it helps all the little scales not just be, like, S-shape repeated a whole bunch. Yeah. It's not as prominent here because the angle is different, and I'm actually not entirely sure if it looked right when projected correctly, but it's fine. It'll contribute to his character. Also, I didn't write down this one part in the script, but I'm gonna just freestyle it anyway. His name is Crash because he crashes in airplanes. I thought I had a really good idea here, and it works with the Sea-Wing because it crashes, like, I don't know, like a silly wave or something. It crashes on the beach or whatnot. Crashes airplanes. I also made his wings a little bit goofy. I think I tried to make it a little bit goofy. I wanted it so that way his wings just, like, sort of, like, I don't know, stop on him. Maybe it's a muscle thing, so he, like, crashes. Maybe that's why they named him that. Maybe I'm thinking about it too hard. Either way, his name is Crash, and if airplanes existed and wings of fire, it'd be really funny to see him crash. Man. Anyway, more silence time. Here, listen to some music. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Enough music. I gave you guys a really long one earlier anyway. This was another lengthy dragon to make, 2.5 hours worth. Time consuming, but it'll be worth it once the commissions start rolling in. Speaking of which, I have not set up the commissions yet. Womp womp. I'm just making all the meme sound effects today, aren't I? Either way, I think I can give you guys an idea of what pricing is going to look like. A lot of online artists I see have fixed commission prices, ones that fluctuate based on whether a consumer asks for line art, sketch, full body, etc. I'd price a fully rendered full body dragon by me at about $9 an hour, so both Crash and Flameback would be $22.50 each. Like, yeah. Personally, that's a high price for me. There's a reason I don't pay artists I like commissions. It's because, like, I'm not willing to spend, you know, 2.5 meals at the local shindig on a silly picture. Maybe I would if I were more frivolous with my money, but right now I'm like Mr. Krabs, or like one of the gold hoarding dragons. I hoard wealth. Money talk, money talk. Okay, I can also draw busts of both dragons and humans, but those don't take me long, like, at all, so those would probably have, like, a $9-ish price, maybe bump it up to 11, because I'm doing something a bit different, or who knows. I don't know what in-between styles folks would want from me, like line art or flats. I don't think the difference between my line art and flats is basically, like, 12 minutes if I already know what color scheme I'm doing. It's just better bucket fill. And, I don't know, I think my sketches sometimes look better than my line art, especially if I'm just making, like, a commissioned sketch. Like, I'm not gonna finish the whole thing, so why don't I just make it a good sketch? I think also sketches. But, yeah. I'll end up finding an average price of whatever the heck that would look like before I set up the digital wallet, so expect that end of April, beginning of May. So, yeah, that brings us to roughly the end of this video. And I hope you like what you saw. I hope I like what you saw. I mean, like, I like the dragon, so I guess I did like what you saw. So hope you like what you saw. If I am as horribly productive as I would like to be, content creation wise, homework creation wise, is a different story. If I was horribly productive as I'd like to be, there will be a swell of videos this week, and this week only. So be prepared. Also, I'm not singing the verse "Be prepared." I'm singing the silly version "Beep repair," where you gotta repair your sheep. Oh yeah, baby, those are some closing words there. I already had a good thing going. What am I still talking about? Go home. Actually, don't go home. Click on another video. Please, please, please.